Morning, everyone. As you probably observed earlier this week, we had a moment of silence on the floor for over 700,000 people, over what's now up to almost 725,000 people who have died of COVID in the United States. This issue always is the top of our agenda in the work that we do here. I know there's lots of attention to other legislation that goes on, but this is an important priority for us. Last weekend when I was in G7 and G20, G7 and NATO, the COVID issue looms large on the global scene as well. Just now we had a caucus, actually it was a whip meeting under Mr. Clyburn's leadership, who chairs our COVID Select Committee, with a report on it, what we're doing domestically, what we're doing globally. But it just continues to be a preeminent concern for us in the Congress, as it is a preeminent concern for the American people. That's the reports we get back from our members from their districts. We know that, and we want to praise the President for his exceptional leadership in addressing this concerns, vaccines in arms, money in people's pockets, safety in the workplace, children going back to school, all impacted by governance and science in this regard. At the same time, we have a global responsibility, and we know that, and we certainly are doing a lot, but we have to do more. So here we are down through the stretch. You know, I'm from Maryland, I'm horse racing. Sports, but now horse racing, and you get to we're almost to the stretch. We've rounded the turn, and we're almost to the stretch. And we're making great progress to our goal of securing a framework agreement for Build Back Better in a timely fashion. It's going to be, although it's a smaller bill, it's still historic, transformational, and will make an enormous difference in the lives of America's working families. Again, in the healthcare arena, we have lowering healthcare costs by reducing prescription drug prices. That's part of our goal. Expanding Medicaid in the states that did not accept the expansion before, strengthening the ACA and improving Medicare, taking us to nearly universal coverage in our country. Another bucket is the family care piece of that, children learning, parents earning, especially moms, but dads too, who have responsibilities in the home, with the child tax credit, child care / universal pre-K, they go together, home health care, paid family and medical leave, workplace development, and housing, to name a few of the aspects of that. And again, very important to our children. These are jobs issues, health and jobs.
So there's great news, and jobs will rain down on every state. So there's much to celebrate with yesterday's signing. And in the weeks and years and months and years to come, the American people will see the benefits with their own eyes. So I want to thank President Biden for finally delivering on something that previous administrations have tried to do but have been unable to complete. Build Back Better. Make no mistake, we will keep going in the weeks ahead by passing the rest of the President Biden's Build Back Better agenda. It's very simple. If we want to create more jobs, if we want to fight inflation, if we want to help families lower costs, the best thing we can do is pass Build Back Better. Let me repeat that. Want to fight inflation? Support Build Back Better. For all of 2021, we've seen a historic and unprecedented economic recovery compared to where we were at the depths of the COVID crisis. But there's no denying that as our recovery continues, we must work to address supply chain troubles that have exacerbated inflation in recent months. Build Back Better is exactly what the doctor ordered. No fewer than 17 Nobel Prize-winning economists and economists across the political spectrum have said repeatedly that Build Back Better and infrastructure together will reduce inflationary pressures. In just, I think it was this morning's Washington Post, Larry Summers, one of the inflation hawks in this country, recommended passing Build Back Better as a way to reduce inflation. The child care investments alone will save parents thousands of dollars a year. Right now, families pay an average of $10,000 annually on child care for each kid under 4. Many pay more than that. That's a back-breaking expense too many families, the majority, simply cannot afford. Well, Build Back Better will provide the largest investment in child care ever. Extending the child care tax credit will help parents save on things like diapers and groceries and gasoline. And of course, Build Back Better will finally empower Medicare to directly negotiate drug prices in Part B and Part D, lowering costs for millions of seniors and American families. On insulin alone, our plan would make it so that Americans with diabetes won't pay more than $35 a month for insulin. Mr. President, none of the things I'm talking about are luxuries. None are handouts. They're daily essentials that families need to thrive with and which over the years have grown expensive. And America is behind this. Every poll you see there for all of these things. Why will not a single Republican vote for it? Why will not a single Republican vote to reduce insulin costs to $35? Not a single Republican vote to help Americans with child care. Not a single Republican vote for the best way to reduce inflation, even though they talk about it a lot. It's profoundly disappointing to see our Republican colleagues more focused on exploiting problems faced by the American people. Just recently, my colleague, the junior senator from Florida, told Americans precisely how he feels about the...
Breaking news, the number of Americans for unemployment benefits that are applying for unemployment benefits has plummeted to the lowest level in more than half a century. With employers opting against layoffs amid a persistent shortage of workers. According to the Labor Department, jobless claims dropped by 71,000 to 199,000. The 4-week average of claims, which smooths out, also dropped by 21,000. Overall, 2 million Americans were collecting traditional unemployment checks. That ended the week of November 13th. That's down slightly from the week before. Since topping 900,000 in early January, the applications have declined steadily and have now fallen below the pre-crisis level of around 220,000 a week. Until September 6th, the federal government had supplemented state unemployment insurance programs by paying an extra payment of $300 a week and extending benefits to gig workers and to those who were out of work for 6 months or more. That's including the federal programs. The number of Americans receiving some form of jobless aid peaked at more than 33 million in June 2020. The job market has staged a remarkable comeback since the spring of 2020, when the crisis forced businesses to close or cut hours and kept many Americans at home. In response to the devastating consequences of the crisis, here's what's happening. The federal government has launched a series of multiple stimulus programs to get the USA's economy back up and running. Biden's American Rescue Plan includes several measures designed to achieve this. And one of the lesser talked about initiatives could see Americans with children or dependents claim a stimulus check worth around $8,000. Millions of American families with dependents are set to receive the last of 6 advanced multi-child tax credits on December 15th.